Just continuing to be in her corner and cheering her on. I think the biggest thing, especially as a player and a competitor, it's super hard when you have to sit out. And so for us, just making sure that she knows, listen, we got your back no matter what. And I think that's really all we can do, because as a player, you deal with stuff differently and you kind of just get through stuff differently. So I mean, we're just doing our best job of just letting her know, like, listen, we got your back, take your time, but we got you.
Aliyah Boston just turned the whole narrative on its head, and social media is losing its mind. Think the All-Star game had drama? That was nothing compared to what Aliyah just said about Caitlin Clark. This wasn't basic post-game praise. This was full-on Beyoncé meets Oprah energy. What went down in that locker room? Did they form a super team or launch a motivational tour? Whatever it was, Aliyah's mic drop moment lit a fuse under the WNBA and sent shockwaves through the internet. Buckle up. This is the kind of chaos we live for.
Caitlin, I'm just curious, how have you seen Aliyah's playmaking develop this season?
To be honest, I'm not sure it's, changed, because I've always said Aliyah is a great playmaker. If you watch her game, you know how good she is with the ball in her hands. She brings the ball up full court. There was even times last year, I think it's just a comfortability thing, because in the past she plays more on the block, and then since coming into the league, she's kind of played a little bit more in the perimeter, and now with the offense that we run with Steph, I think just having the ball in her hands and really orchestrating that, especially if I'm getting picked up 94 feet or the other team's pressing, like, we feel very comfortable giving Aliyah the ball to bring it up full court. So
Aliyah Boston isn't just hooping. She's out here handing out energy like it's a stimulus check. You get a screen, you get a rebound, you get a confidence boost mid-huddle. She's mastered the art of being that teammate, the one who makes everyone around her better. It's not just chemistry. It's pure, game-changing charisma wrapped in a jersey.
Honestly, I'm trying to remember the other ones. Another one was to Aliyah that was soaring out of bounds.
It's all right. Don't worry, because don't worry, because I mean, you look at Caitlin and you look at the way she passes the ball, and so sometimes things are gonna happen that way, and that's okay, because we're not gonna let her hang her head. We're not gonna hang our head off of any missed passes, because we're still continuing to gel together, and we know that she's a great passer. So if she thinks she can get that ball there, she's gonna throw it, and if I miss it, then we're good. All right, don't worry, we're good.
Thanks, AB.
She's basically the WNBA's version of duct tape, tough, dependable, and keeping everything from falling apart, unlike some of the head-scratching front office moves we've seen lately. And if Aliyah Boston is the glue, then Lexi Hull is the spark. Quietly essential, criminally underrated. When Lexi looks at Caitlin Clark, she doesn't see headlines or hot takes. She sees a straight-up hooper. Not a brand. Not a debate topic, just a baller who turns hardwood into highlight reels and defenders into memes. Together, they're not just teammates, they're building something solid in a league that's still learning how to value it.
It's great playing beside her. I think the attention she gets and her ability to see the floor and make the right decision in crucial times are really important, so it's really great. And I feel like how I've helped her is just continue to allow her to know that, like, she's made for this league. She can dominate in this league, and just to continue to be her.
And Lexi, who's been overlooked more times than a WNBA highlight reel during a national halftime show, is echoing Boston's sentiment. Caitlin isn't just fitting in, she is the future. Then there's Kelsey Mitchell, strolling around like she finally found her long-lost basketball soulmates. She spent seasons carrying this franchise like a solo Uber driver in peak traffic, but now she's rolling deep with a full squad of certified hoopers who actually return the favor and the passes. It's not just a rebuild, it's starting to feel like a revolution.
Is Caitlin Clark the GOAT, greatest of all time, without a title? I mean, duh, yeah. We talked about how great Coach Staley was, right? How authentic she was. What did she say before she left? She gave her interview after the game, right? Press conference, this and that. And the last he said is Caitlin Curry Clark. If you're out there somewhere, and she said, "Yo, you are one of our biggest GOATs. You've changed the game." You guys love to talk about Brianna Stewart and how great she was, right? Teron said, "You got who else? You got Maya Moore. All these was phenomenal though. They ain't changed the game."
You can hear the joy in her crossover, smooth, confident, almost like a sigh of relief in motion. She's dishing assists like it's Black Friday at the outlet mall, and finally, someone else is pulling the double teams. The smile's real, the chemistry's electric. Kelsey's been waiting for a squad like this, like a favorite show that finally got renewed. This Fever team suddenly feels like one of those weird smoothie blends that actually tastes good. Aliyah's control in the paint, Caitlin's flamethrower shooting, Lexi's hustle that's so intense, even Fitbits start sweating. There's chemistry, there's rhythm, there's that unspoken, you crash, I cover telepathy that happens when two players are actually in sync, not just pretending for the camera. Aliyah's screens are basically love letters in pick-and-roll form. Caitlin gets one and suddenly has more room than a Kardashian closet.
As soon as they announced that Caitlin Clark wasn't going to be in the wasn't playing the All-Star game or wasn't going to be in the three-point contest, ticket prices went down 50% for the WNBA All-Star game here in Indianapolis over the weekend. 50%. When she was hurt for 2 weeks, WNBA ratings went down 50%. Like when she plays, people watch. If she's not involved, people don't watch. And that's their biggest problem is you got the one player that people watch.
Defenses are left spinning in circles. Do they switch, trap, or just phone a friend and cry? Aliyah Boston doesn't chase the spotlight, but somehow it finds her every single possession, every box out, every monster screen, every dive onto the hardwood screams one thing. She's not just here to win games. She's here to build a foundation. And what she's building isn't temporary. This Indiana Fever squad finally has something it hasn't had in years, an actual identity. Not a patch job, not a let's wait for next season. Real structure, real chemistry. And the vibes? Off the charts. This isn't fake it for the camera's camaraderie, it's genuine, goofy, ride-or-die energy. The bench is a full-on support squad with TikTok-level celebration routines ready for every bucket. One three-pointer, and suddenly they're doing synchronized dances that would make a boy band jealous. But fairy tales in this league always come with a plot twist. For all the magic brewing in Indy, it all comes down to one thing. Caitlin Clark being allowed to play her game. Not squeezed into a system, not elbowed into submission. Because if Clark gets room to cook, and Boston keeps anchoring the soul of this team, we're not talking rebuild. We're talking renaissance.
And every they have it. Like this old girl Caitlin had.
Okay, yeah, there it is.
Every barbershop talk, right?
Yep.
Those are real sports conversations, right? From my background, from my culture, right? It's LeBron, it's the Lakers, it's Patrick Mahomes. Nah, it's Caitlin Clark. She's changed the game. I haven't seen no player in basketball other than one dude, and he got 4 championships, and he's one of the GOATs, Steph Curry. I haven't seen nobody like her. And the last thing I'm gonna say is about why she's the GOAT without a championship. Did y'all see the game? You see the mismatch? Before the ball was tipped up, you just see the mismatch. And if she didn't play for Iowa, first of all, who's going to Iowa? Who's going there?
Which means it's time for someone at League HQ to quit treating the officiating manual like it's fan fiction. Sure, Caitlin drawing attention is great for business, but not when she's also drawing elbows, blindside hip checks, and off-ball screens that look like WrestleMania warm-ups. Highlight defense, not borderline assault. Let the girl hoop without needing body armor. It shouldn't require a medical insurance seminar every time she drives to the hoop. Protecting star players isn't bias. It's basic business. You don't buy a Ferrari and then store it in a demolition derby. Let the girl play. Let her dance with the ball like she's got rhythm and a grudge. Let her see the floor without worrying if someone's about to turn her highlight reel into a blooper compilation with bloodshed. This isn't just about Caitlin. It's about what this team could be. Because when Aliyah gets to lock into her role, when Lexi's flying around like caffeinated defense on wheels, when Kelsey's distributing like the Oprah of assists, and when Caitlin's stretching defenses like they're taffy, this team clicks. It moves, it makes sense. And more than that, it's fun.
Can we be clear about this? If Caitlin Clark were not in the WNBA, we would not be talking about the WNBA. She is the only ticket draw in the WNBA. A large percentage of all tickets sold in the WNBA are so people can watch Caitlin Clark play basketball. No one cares about Angel Reese. Should be drawing flies if she were playing not against Caitlin Clark on the court right now. Angel Reese has basically become the Bill Laimbeer to Caitlin Clark's Larry Bird, essentially. That is where we now are.
People are watching again. Not doom scrolling, but actually watching. People who couldn't name 3 Fever players last year are now arguing rotations on Reddit. Barbershop debates are suddenly including the words Indiana Fever and legit contender in the same sentence without irony. That's not luck. That's synergy. That's what happens when a franchise finally stops trying to duct tape a roster together and starts building something real. And somewhere in the middle of all that, Aliyah Boston is still just showing up, doing her job, smiling through the chaos, and somehow making everyone better just by existing. She's not chasing the drama or feeding the media beast. Because when players feel safe, empowered, and appreciated, when they enjoy coming to work, that's when the magic starts. And right now, Indiana might just be the league's newest magic trick. One part Caitlin Clark, one part Kelsey Mitchell, a sprinkle of Lexi's chaos energy, and a whole lot of Aliyah Boston quietly rewriting the definition of franchise cornerstone.
Look me in my eyes when I tell you this. Caitlin Clark will go down as the best WNBA player ever. Yes, the best woman to touch a basketball. Before we can even look into the future, we gotta go to the past to understand how we got to the present, to then have a clear depiction of what we'll be seeing in the future. Now, in college, she was the most storied college basketball player ever. The best individual basketball player ever. The stats and the game will tell you that.
So, if you're still wondering whether this duo is the real deal, check the scoreboard. Listen to the crowd. Ask literally anyone who's watched more than 5 minutes of Fever basketball without cringing into their popcorn. Aliyah and Caitlin aren't just clicking, they're cooking. And if the league can keep them healthy and upright, Indiana's not just rebuilding, they're leveling up. And let's be real, if Aliyah hadn't spoken up about Caitlin, you better believe people would have noticed. Because in this high-speed WNBA media circus, pun fully intended, silence doesn't read as neutral. It reads as shady. But nah, everyone saw what went down. Caitlin didn't just give Aliyah a boost, she put her back in the headlines with the bold type turned up to 100. Now suddenly, Aliyah Boston is being spoken with that same holy respect usually reserved for jersey retirements and grandma's secret recipes. This duo isn't just working, they're rewriting the whole vibe of Fever basketball.
She got people paid, she got better travel arrangements, she increased the ratings and the revenue, which obviously the WNBA benefited exponentially because now you got a $200 million deal. All of these things being considered, you damn right. It is appropriate that she got Athlete of the Year. She is special.
The Caitlin Clark effect isn't just real, it's rewriting the playbook. This isn't manufactured buzz, it's a gravitational shift. And the smartest move any teammate can make? Jump on the rocket and let it launch you. Aliyah Boston? Already elite. She's been dominating the paint with grace, grit, and basketball IQ for years. But now? Now the cameras are rolling. Now the casual fans are waking up. Suddenly, folks flipping through channels are stopping mid-scroll like, who is that post beast moving like she's dancing ballet and breaking double teams like she's bored? That's AB. And thanks to Clark's spotlight, the whole Fever roster is finally in focus. The players who've been grinding in the shadows are getting their shine. Off-ball movement is getting slow-mo analysis. Jersey sales are climbing. Highlight reels are expanding. No one's saying Caitlin made them stars. Talent like that doesn't need a cosign. But what she brought? Visibility. Attention. The spotlight women's hoops has been owed for years. She's the megaphone. They're the message. And now, everyone's hearing it loud and clear.
I want to personally thank Caitlin Clark for lifting up our sport. She carried a heavy load for our sport, and it just is not going to stop here on the collegiate tour. But when she is the #1 pick in the WNBA draft, she's gonna lift that league up as well. So Caitlin Clark, if you're out there, you are one of the GOATs of our games, and we appreciate you.
So yes, it mattered when Aliyah said it publicly. It wasn't just a compliment. It was a moment. A queen recognizing another queen. The internet practically curtsied. Because when someone who doesn't have to say something chooses to, that's respect. That's unity. That's basketball diplomacy at its finest. And let's be real, It shut down a whole lot of nonsense before it could even get started. Because if she hadn't said it, oh, the narratives would have written themselves. Aliyah feels overshadowed. Caitlyn's not blending into the team culture. Is there a rift forming? You know how it goes. Aliyah squashed it with a few honest words, and suddenly, everything clicked. And for the record, let's stop pretending this kind of public praise is easy. These are competitive athletes, not motivational speakers. Ego, pride, media manipulation, it all gets in the way. So when someone like Aliyah Boston takes a moment to say, yeah, Caitlyn's arrival helped shine a light on me too, that's not weakness. That's power. That's a leader who understands the game beyond the box score.
Caitlin Clark finished 9th in player voting. In fact, she finished behind one of her own teammates in player voting for the All-Star game. The pettiness has no bounds. But it's interesting, for years, the WNBA players were pointing fingers. They were saying people are sexist, the media is sexist, we're not being promoted, we're underappreciated. And then they get the golden goose and they don't like what it looks like. Iowa girl, Indiana girl. Well, who knows, and I've said this for years, when the wave hits, ride it. You don't know what it looks like.
Let's call it what it is. A power move in heels. Aliyah Boston isn't out here worried about spotlight theft. She is the spotlight. She's adjusting the settings, aiming the beam, and letting everyone else catch up. Sure, Caitlyn brought the cameras, but Aliyah's the reason they're still rolling. And here's the beauty of it. It goes both ways. Caitlyn's not just launching logo threes anymore. She's evolving. She's learning how to work with a dominant post player, how to dish it inside and cut, how to play within a system instead of always being the system. That's real growth. That's maturity. And that's the kind of development that makes an entire team dangerous. Aliyah didn't need Caitlyn to be a star. Her resume was already solid, but Caitlyn helped amplify it, turned up the volume so the rest of the world could finally hear what Indiana's been hearing all along. This isn't a rivalry, it's a masterclass in chemistry. It's what happens when two future legends collide and decide to build, not compete. The result? A win for the Fever, a win for the league, and a win for every fan smart enough to be watching. If you enjoyed leaving a like and subscribing, more videos are on the screen now.